What's up? Welcome to the Gossip Intellectual Podcast with me, Royce Wynn, comedian extraordinaire, podcaster, the man with all the jobs, podcasting, TikToker, doing stand-up, doing it all. It's DEI Friday. That seems to be the only thing we're talking about, the world's talking about. Happy to be here. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Friday. Warmed up a little bit in New York City. We're in the 40s now, which is summer. That's summer in New York City. We had a rough week and a half of just 10 degree, 20 degree weather where you're just I don't want to do anything. I was out there, couldn't feel my fingers. I was like, what are those little lines for if I can't feel them on my fingers? Do I have nerves? Do I have the nerve? So yeah, weird week. Doing okay, not too bad. In my head a little bit. Who isn't in their head a little bit, right? We all need 3 therapists. 3 therapists a day. You need therapists for morning, noon, and night, right? But yeah, for the most part, I'm like, you know what? You're in a big city. In a big city, kiddo. You're doing a podcast. Things can't be that bad. Weird dream last night. Justin Baldoni was in my dream. How much Justin Baldoni content am I watching where Justin Baldoni is in my dream? I was just helping him look for something, and for some reason, we were all in beds in the same room. It was like a Justin Baldoni camp. Anybody else have Justin Baldoni dreams where you're just in the camp? Well, I'm sure girls have Justin Baldoni dreams. He left that weird voice note to Blake Lively that got played live. And I was like, he had that creepy little sensual voice. Blake, I'm so sorry about how you feel. Right? Then I was like, are girls DJing to this guy's voice? And then girls in the comments were like, yeah, we are. So I was just saying that to say girls probably do have dreams about being in camps with Justin Baldoni. I don't know. I never even heard of Justin Baldoni until this whole thing. And now I'm having dreams about him. And Blake Lively was nowhere to be found. Ryan Reynolds, who I do think is funny, who I was a fan of, not in the dream. So Justin's in the dream. All I know about him is everything we've been hearing about with the lawsuit. Blake, not in my zeitgeist. Okay? I was watching different stuff. But Ryan Reynolds in my zeitgeist, not in the dream. Justin Baldoni's in the dream. So yeah, that's how I woke up today. With dreams in my life. And then of course DEI is all over the place. So that's where I'm at. Got breakfast and was just we got to keep moving forward. No matter how weird the dreams are, no matter how weird the world is, got to do what you got to do. And keep trying to be the best version of yourself, which will affect everybody else around you, right? When people see your growth, see you moving forward, it makes them step up to their game. It's just a natural reaction. So Neil deGrasse Tyson probably has a better word for it, but every action has a reaction. So when you take action, it makes other people react to how you are. So I was like, you know what? I got to do the podcast. No matter what's going on, I got to do the podcast. I got to keep writing, keep doing TikToks and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that's what's going on with me. But we'll talk about the tragedy coming up that happened, which also made me say, hey, man, listen, things could be worse. So let's talk about the plane crash, Black Hawk down, a lot of people down, not that great. Okay, so as we all know, the Black Hawk helicopter hit the flight, the American Airlines flight, and tragedy going down. And, when a tragedy happens like this, right, everybody's like, oh my, how, right? We need to hear from somebody who has something to say. But our president is not that guy. Okay, he's just not that guy. Right? He pretends to be that guy. I was thinking about that. What was I thinking about? I think I was watching like a video of Keke Palmer, and I was like, she just has it. Like, she was born to be an entertainer. I'm sure people say that all the time. It's just a magnetic pull, a natural, just vibrant. No matter what environment she would be in, she would take over the environment, right? And I think Trump is a pretender, right? Like, sometimes you're looking on TikTok, and you're like, this person doesn't really have it, but they're pretending to have it. And these days, you can pretend to have it and people follow you, right? Just toxic people get followed all the time. And Trump is a pretender, a toxic pretender who made it to the top, right? Like, what's the girl's name? I think it's Addison Rae. But you're looking at Charlie D'Amelio, just people that don't really have it, but they got there by pretending. And that's what Trump is. So immediately he's like, this is because of DEI, and we want to have the most qualified. And people are like, are you going to address the people that failed? The plane crash, and you're talking about DEI, right? And so now we're all talking about DEI, which we were already talking about. We were talking about Target and Tabitha Brown last week, and most people were saying Tabitha, for the most part, didn't really have a point. Like, we can figure out a way to help the black businesses without stopping the boycott. The boycott must go on. The boycott must be televised. And but it did bring up a great conversation of who's sticking with DEI and how to help black businesses. So I did enjoy that. And I guess we're gonna be talking about DEI for, I don't know, for however long. Van Jones brought up a great point. Overall, his strategy is to blame black and brown people for everything, and the whites are doing the best, right? And Joy Reid brought up a great point. Is like, his version of DEI is just people that are unqualified that just got pushed in, and we're just like, first of all, that's you. Look in the mirror. That's you. You did win the votes, though, so we'll give you that. Okay, you got voted in. Okay, do you know what you're doing? Absolutely not. But at least you got voted in. Okay, you have done the job before. Not the greatest. Somehow, when you come in, tragedies happen, and they're not handled well, and people are like, remember the worst time of your life? Remember who was president? I'll never forget who was president. So this thing happened. This guy has nothing to say but to talk about DEI. Wow, he's got the head of the FBI going through hearings. What's his name? Kash Patel. Right, which sounds like a narcos drug dealer. Even though I know he's Indian or whatever. You have RFK Jr., a conspiracy theorist. I made a joke. You might as well make Joe Rogan head of Health and Human Services if you're going to have just a conspiracy theorist. I was listening to the Breakfast Club this morning. They were talking about, he said something about black people have better immune systems, so they shouldn't get the vaccines as fast. What? You can't be ahead of nothing. It was a black lady asking him that question. She was like, I'm done. You don't get my vote at all. And then Pete Hegseth, right, served in the Army and was just a broadcaster. And now he's the Secretary of Defense. Okay, so immediately we're like, we're going to get invaded. But it's just crazy. Everybody's just like, how this guy has got us arguing about DEI, and we're all at the bottom, and the problem is rich white men. Okay, I used to do a joke where this girl was like, I'm just gonna get a rich white man to solve all my problems, and I was like, well, that's where the problems start. If you look at the history of the world and things, it's usually rich white men are the problem. Okay. Why don't we have enough? Why are people coming here and struggling? Why are there not enough jobs? Because of rich white men, and somehow they're blaming DEI. And there's two philosophies of DEI. All right, one is which I go with, which progressive go with, is that DEI makes everything better because you have more well-rounded individuals, different points of view, different ways of looking at things. Simple, right? I remember The Daily Show, I think, is a great example of that. SNL, also, I'm in comedy, so that's what I think about. You got young people in there, you got different types of races in there, different type of cultures in there. Okay, and so when certain things come up, you don't look stupid because you have somebody from that background. CNN, okay? If you look, and I think they did have an issue with that early on, and because I went to school for journalism, so I remember them talking about it. But later, sorry, I'm trying to stop drinking water on camera. As time went on, they realized, okay, if we're gonna do a story in a certain country, usually it's better to have somebody from that country. Okay, if you're a policeman, okay, narcos, you got to know the land, you got to know the people. Okay, so you need DEI, and the thing about DEI, these people are qualified. They're good at what they do. All it's saying is just make sure you take a look at them. Okay, that's all it's saying. Just don't only have one type of person that you're interviewing, and usually, why they had DEI is because for them, they were just hiring all the people they know and just keeping a bunch of qualified people out. So DEI is actually bringing in more qualified people that normally wouldn't get that look if people weren't forced to give people looks. That's what it comes down to. So I was surprised to see Apple is sticking with their DEI program. That's a win. As Meta bends the knee and Target and others bend the knee. That's the other thing too. Like a lot of these corporations are just corporating. All right. It's just like they have no loyalty to anybody. So I kind of like that. I was like, oh, so we get to see who's real and who's not. Who has a heart? What corporations have a heart? Because they say corporations have no heart. But some of them are not black hearts. Some of them actually have a heart and care about people. And that's really good to know that a corporation cares about people. Usually they don't. They're like, we'll be a person in taxes, okay, and not get taxed like a corporation. But they actually will be a person and care about people. I think Ben and Jerry's was on there. Costco, I come from a Costco family. My dad, Royce, we're going to Costco. We went to Costco today. We got water. I got a sweater. So this exposes a lot, which some people look at it that way. It's just like, but I remember people were saying that the last time Trump was president, like, it's exposing who we really are. Well, when are we going to become something different? Okay. But yeah, so it's good to know who's standing up for the people and who's not. And we got to move the conversation to these families, man. I was going to say all the names, but Google all the names. But yeah, it just goes to show that tomorrow is not promised. Anything could happen, especially with this presidency. That's the scariest thing. You just feel like the people in power, in control, don't have your back. And I mean, this country's always been every man for himself. Now it's really every man for themselves. So Trump was saying that because of Obama's policies, that they hired a bunch of DEI people that were unqualified, which was untrue. Okay, I just watched something with Caitlin Collins, and she basically said that it's a rigorous program. You have to be very qualified to get these positions. And Trump, I think, on his first day in office, got rid of all the qualified people, which is kind of might be a reason why this happened. They're still doing the investigation, but the best weren't there because of Trump. It's like you got rid of the best of the best. Okay. So, but he puts that rhetoric out there, man, and his followers or people that have his same way of thinking are gonna believe him, and it's just gonna divide us more. And so now you got half the country saying this is because of DEI, and the other half of the country saying our president's an idiot, and that's why this really happened. So it's very, very, very unfortunate. 60 people and 3 in the military through a miscommunication, and it cost people's their lives. So pray for those people. Pray for those families. I think it was who were the prominent names? Let me look real quick. It was 2 stories that I liked. Okay, so this girl Clyde Duggins, right? She was an attorney. And she was working on an act to stop people that were legally innocent from being put in cages. Just a young, bright, beautiful soul, beautiful light. You could just feel she was really about that life. And very, very, very unfortunate to lose her. And then who were the ice skaters? All right. Andrew Evans leaves behind wife and children. Black Hawk helicopter pilot. Okay, who? White guy. They're saying this is all happening because of DEI, which also, by the way, we said that, right? DEI is just, in their definition, unqualified. But then when they want to blame somebody, it's because they were black or brown. Clay was a professor, lawyer, Howard University School of Law so that story, I didn't save the ice skater one. Okay, but it was 2 young ice skaters. Let me see. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. All the stories are important. But these were people, who had their whole lives ahead of them. And, unfortunately, that's how the world works sometimes. And, so these 2, Angela Yang and Sean Kay, and their videos are all over the place of them doing ice skating routines. Very good. It just goes to show not to take your life for granted. And, people are constantly thinking about, what should have happened, where you should be. And, these people are just taking a flight and unfortunately did not survive it. Okay. They send a Black Hawk helicopter. I watched a guy that said he's flown a Black Hawk helicopter, and there's like a certain level that I think the helicopters are supposed to stay at. So Trump obviously heard that too. The Black Hawk helicopter was flying too high by a lot. It was far above the 200-foot limit. That's not really too complicated to understand, is it? So I don't know what that accomplishes. Okay? Listen, guys, you don't have to keep up with every Trump quote. Scroll by. Okay? Us that do media and have to talk about this stuff, we have to read it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm starting to skip over. And, we got a long 4 years ahead of us. It's a marathon. This is Trump presidency. It's a marathon. The first 2 days, this guy has not said anything that's helped the situation. So if you want to go through the day a little less stress-free, don't read Trump quotes. Okay. Because I don't know what that's solving. Okay. Obviously, mistakes were made. Okay. Obviously, people didn't do things the right way, or this wouldn't have happened. This guy's always talking about past presidents, but he doesn't study past presidents. He studies Hannibal Lecter. And so he just likes to scare people, apparently. I love scary movies. I love horror movies. I love to scare people. So there's nothing positive coming from that guy. But the DEI conversation is huge. He successfully got that out there. And so now we're talking about that and immigration. And the rich are getting richer. And the conversation is not about that. Okay? The incompetence, the greediness of the rich is the biggest problem. Okay? So, again, sorry to those families. Sorry to everything that they're going to have to go through. And hopefully, they get some type of support. The guy, Kaylin Collins, asked him, do you even know the names? He's like, I don't understand why that would be important. I don't know. Maybe because you're a leader and show some empathy to loss of your countrymen. How about that? Okay? Every time a tragedy happens, usually the president reads off the names of the people to humanize them and shows, they're not just a number. How about that? Okay. All right. That's all I got on that. Diversity is important. Diversity in your own life is important. I always try to hang around young people, see what the young people are doing. Okay? Stay hip. All right? Unlike my parents. And, makes you better. Okay? By the way, I was talking about this last night. A lot of black and brown people could save some rich white men's jobs. Okay? Y'all always end up saying something pseudo-racist or just plain racist. It's like, if you had a DEI hire, you wouldn't say that and you still have a job. Or your corporation wouldn't lose millions in lawsuits. So, now we don't know who is behind the Popeyes Don Julio chicken. Okay? I'm hoping that wasn't a black man, a black woman that thought of that. But that makes me mad. And I'm not drinking Don Julio anymore. Okay? Y'all think it's N-word juice? Is that what y'all think it is? Y'all think all we do is drink Don Julio, eat Popeye chicken? No! That is so embarrassing. Don Julio chicken. I just felt that was right at us. By the way, hold on. Sorry. One second. There's an ambulance. McDonald's not to have DEI and be getting rid of it. As many hip-hop commercials that y'all made at us, as many times as y'all rapped y'all commercials with a burger in your hand and next to you, please. Okay? You should have the most DEI. Okay? So yeah, I didn't like that. That hurt me. We need to boycott Don Julio. No more Don Julio. They're making a mockery of us. Okay. Normally, Popeyes is in black neighborhoods. Right? Is it Popeyes in the Palisades in the Beverly Hills? I hope that we need to burn down Popeyes. All right. Let's move on. More racist news. Bryce Mitchell, UFC fighter, says Hitler was a good guy. Surprise, surprise! A UFC fighter is a Nazi-like. Okay. First of all, UFC, I mean, we've seen how they've treated Trump, and, they act like the guy is a UFC fighter himself. I just want to know, has Trump ever been in a fight? Just one scuffle, anything where you had to try to throw hands. Okay? How does a coward like that make it so far? Okay, anyway, back to Bryce Mitchell. So they condemned it, but nothing happened to him. As Van Lathan always says, nothing ever happens when they say something racist. Well, no, that's not true. Sometimes the journalists, the people, they do get fired. Sometimes they overcorrect. I will say it. Sometimes they do overcorrect, and black people are like, we don't really care about that one. But whatever. We'll take it because all the other times y'all didn't do nothing. But UFC is not an organization that black people should trust, or people, minorities should trust. This is obviously about Hitler. And, you know, I'm always doing these comedy shows, and I'm just like, why does everybody have to do a Hitler joke? And it's still coming up. So, comics, keep your Hitler jokes, because obviously there's still people that believe in the guy. The guy started a world war. The guy killed millions. He's not a good guy. What do you mean? I would go, before something happened, he was a good. He's not a good guy, okay? All right, a lot of people have done good things before, you know, life changed, okay? There's plenty of, you know, kidnappers and such. They did nice things in the neighborhood. They might have done nice things. But overall, not a good guy. Not a guy that should be revered as a good guy. That is insulting to millions of families, to a whole community who feels like they need to rebuild, who feels like they haven't fully recovered from that. And it just, I don't know. Why do you even need to say something like, why would you say something like that? Was he on a podcast? Anyway, he said it publicly on whatever he was on. And it's just like, why are you studying that stuff? Why are you looking at it like that? Where's your head at? Focus on fighting. Okay. Do something else with your time. Okay, so Dana White condemned him, said basically what I said. I mean, it's common sense to say he's a good guy. It's a ridiculous thing to say, and just not a well thought out statement. But it does bring up the question, it's like, what's going to happen to him? I mean, we saw what happened to Nick Cannon. We saw what happened to Jamie Foxx. I mean, these guys almost lost everything. And not as heinous, or, well, I don't know. Nick Cannon kind of said something kind of crazy. But it's just like, these guys had to fight for their lives. And these guys are way richer, way more beloved. So is this guy just, you know, just going to get condemned and continue to fight? Or is there going to be any type of disciplinary action taken for saying something ridiculous? Shane Gillis of it all. But he was doing it through jokes. So that can, you know, people kind of give jokes a pass sometimes. But it's just like, what is going through your head when you hear grown adults say these things? It's just like, what? Who are you hanging around? Did he run that by his friends first? Like, you know what? I've been reading this Hitler thing, and I would hang out with. I would go fishing with Hitler. I would like. You know what? Probably don't say that out loud to anybody. No, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it tomorrow. Who's going to whip my ass? I can fight. So, I don't know. It's just crazy to me that people are walking around thinking these things. And, you know, I can understand if it was Luigi. You'd be like, you know what? I don't agree with how he went about things, but Luigi, maybe. So yeah, other unfortunate stuff. So let's have some fun. Okay, so yeah, I talked about my dreams with, not with, Justin Baldoni was in the dream. For some reason, we were looking for stuff, and we were all in like an encampment with beds, kind of like a summer camp. You know, you summer camp for like sports or something. You're all in the same room. So I think I mixed my old summer camp memories with Justin Baldoni. So it's looking like Blake and Ryan Reynolds are trying to get his lawsuit dropped. It looks like neither one of the lawsuits are gonna stick, and they're both gonna kind of settle. Justin's definitely coming out on top with this because the accusations against him, which is way worse as a guy to have essay allegations. That can ruin your career, can ruin your life. Deservedly so if you're, taking advantage of people and you're in a position of power and traumatizing somebody. But in this situation, that was not the case. And it seems like she was perfectly fine. And she's very powerful. So people are just like, you're very powerful. You've known to be a little bit of a meanie. How were you in this situation where you felt taken advantage of? And he put out enough evidence for the public to kind of say, yeah, I don't think this guy's a bad guy. People are not saying this guy's a bad guy. They're saying he's a weirdo, but he's not a bad guy. So I was listening to TMZ this morning. So they're saying this. They're probably just gonna settle. The crazy thing is, this is gonna get dragged out. I think they said for another year, right? And I think they said March next year is when the thing will be finished. So I don't know. I think they should just both drop it. The fact that Ryan and Blake are waving kind of the white flag a little bit, saying no, they're not waving the white flag, but they want it dropped. They don't want anything else to go further. Makes them look worse. Okay, the fact that I think they tried to gag him before, lawyer terms, not TikTok terms, and quiet him. And they're trying to get it dropped, so they're kind of like on the defense now, and he's kind of on the offense. He put out a video of him in the basement. He put out the voice note. He put out the video of them dancing and talking, and nothing seemed crazy. The only thing was the voice note with the sensual voice. It was weird. It's dramatic. It's like, are you the intimacy coach? But yeah, it didn't seem anything where it was just like this horrible, crazy working environment that you felt trapped in. It was something else. Oh, because everybody's saying that Ryan Reynolds might have been jealous of the chemistry. That's the theory people are kind of leaning towards now, that she liked him. And then she felt rejected and got mad. I don't know. I think it was just more business. It was just egos. That's what I think. I think they're just both weirdo, egotistical industry brats. They both kind of grew up in a certain environment where they always get their way and are used to compromising. But it shows him trying to compromise and be apologetic and be nice. So that's where he's coming out on top. And they're saying behind closed doors, Ryan is the angry, mean one. He's supposed to be the funny, fun guy. Right? So they're saying, like, behind closed doors, Ryan and Blake are arguing about her talks with him, and she wanted to see the dailies every day. And he's like, why you want to see the dailies so much? What was going on set? Are you falling for him? Which can happen very easily. I mean, you're being intimate with somebody on set every day. The person's good looking. You're making art together. Can happen. Actually happens most of the time. Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt. That didn't end well either. So we'll see what happens. And maybe I'll have more dreams. Okay, so fun weekend with music coming up. The weekend dropped today. So hurry up tomorrow, I think is what it's called. So if you're going through some melodramatic stuff, I've been trying to stay away from the Weeknd and Drake. I'm just like, I'm already to my head. I don't want to listen to that type of music. But yeah, if you're big fans of them or of him, The Weeknd dropped this weekend. So it's got an album out. Is it gonna be a different type of sound? I feel like he's been doing the same type of thing for a while. It's just been kind of like low budget. My life is so wild. I'm sad inside, but I'm a rock star. Type of um, music. So is he ever gonna be happy? is he? Is he ever gonna find real love? You just gonna hang out in clubs and just make music about having relationships with girls and feeling empty inside the weekend? At this point, I don't know. Is he doing it for the numbers? I mean, the numbers are just incredible. I forgot what record he's broken. People are saying he's trying to kill the airways while Drake is gone. Academics said that. So academics from his canceled chair said that the industry is behind the weekend and trying to crush Drake if you're into that type of stuff. And the weekend's always a good listen. I do want to have some new music from him. Like all my the weekend songs are kind of old. So I'm just like, I'm not in that place anymore. I don't want to hear that right now. I'll listen to it. I mean, it sounds good, but I don't like where it's taking me emotionally. So hopefully this album is good. I looked at a couple tweets, posts on X, and people are saying it's off to a good start. So congratulations to him. Good for him. Grammys are Sunday. So I think the two biggest stories coming out of that is Beyonce and Taylor Swift going at it again. Okay, so no DEI there. All just straight talent. They're the best of the best. But if Beyonce wins, people are gonna be like DEI, DEI. But it's Beyonce. Come on, she's not a DEI. She's one of the greatest ever. So that's this weekend. Maybe I'll catch a little bit. I'll probably just catch the highlights online. Clip it up, people. Yeah, I'm kind of past watching rich entertainers, unless it's something funny that I can make fun of. I don't know. I'm not interested in their lives anymore. That's where we're at, right? We're trying to see regular people's lives. Where are the Grammys? Are they in? It's in LA, right? It's usually in LA. So I wonder how that's gonna work. Hollywood was pretty much unscathed, right? So they could still do events and stuff. So Doechii, a big story out of hip hop, saying most likely to win rap album of the year. Kendrick Lamar wasn't on there. So I don't know why. I guess they didn't submit, or they just wanted to. I mean, Kendrick Lamar is big enough. The label's like, just let Doechii get the shine. So that'd be great if she wins and then does the Super Bowl. I mean, the girl's gonna skyrocket. All right, she's got her own rocket. Nobody needs Elon Musk if you're Doechii. So yeah, those are the two biggest things coming out of the Grammys. Country songs, Beyonce's in all the country categories, so we'll see what happens with that. Shabuzi had a great year. Shabuzi is everywhere, all over with that bar song. So I think he won all the other stuff, so he should at least get country song, unless Beyonce knocks him out. So it's going to be between Shabuzi, I think, and Beyonce. Chapo Roan, I don't know. I heard like one song that I liked from her, but she's all over there. So we'll see if she shows up. You know, she doesn't like fame anymore. She got canceled for saying something, I think, for saying something reasonable. She was just like, I hope everybody's happy on both sides. And people are like, we hate you! Right? I will give that to celebrities. It is hard to give some type of opinion. Sometimes it's like, no matter what you say, you're going to get killed. But there are a lot of things going on in the world that are important. So that's good that people are passionate about those things. But it does suck that you do have to have an opinion. You can't just make art anymore. You know, especially if you're not that type of artist. But you know, that's where we're at. But you got to stay. I think people just want you to stay consistent, right? Because with Soulja Boy, we were just like, he's consistently dumb. Okay. So we don't care what he does, right? So if you're consistently dumb, We don't care. But if you stand for something and then you act like you don't stand for nothing, then that's when we get annoyed. Snoop Dogg. So enjoy that. I just want to shout out to the Commanders, man. Had a great season, overachieved. All the pundits are giving them their credit even after the loss. I was surprised. Everybody's saying they're the team to beat in the NFC, even though the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, shout out to Jaden Daniels, man. Historic rookie season and made everybody a believer. And the Commanders organization is doing it right. And the former owner is pissed off because he didn't think they could do it without him, I guess. And it proves that he wasn't good at his job. And, he should have been gone. So happy for them. And look forward to next season. It was just one of those places where you're just like, can we get something going, man? This is so sad. Nobody even wants to come. And what I've learned is usually when the team is bad, it's usually bad ownership. We're talking about Mike Brown and the Sacramento Kings, and it's just two buffoons who don't respect the game. When comedy clubs are bad, it's usually owners that know nothing about comedy. And, the people that win, usually it starts at the top. Okay? It starts at the top, Trump. It starts at the top. So everybody's talking about Jimmy Butler. So we'll see what he does. If he can get his joy back, if he can go somewhere where he feels happy. But everybody's coming down on him. I think the only person that defended him was Paul Pierce. But I was surprised to see even Carmelo Anthony say he's not being professional by not playing. And the way he's acting and putting up the jokes and memes and stuff, which were funny. You ain't got no job, man. So we'll see where he goes. But yeah, the Heat season pretty much over. Well, you never know. Sorry, I'm so clogged up. That's the end of the podcast. Let me get some water. But I don't know. Maybe they'll get a start and turn it around. But that makes it easier for the Knicks, who are coming together. They beat the Nuggets. Happy to see Cat coming into his own, and giving the team some help. So fun with sports. I think that's it. Rihanna went to support A$AP Rocky in the court. They said she was wearing all black, and then the drawing looked like she was wearing all white, but nobody saw her. So that's the first time. I think they did see her going out afterwards later that night. So she's supporting her man, her family. Very serious situation. Didn't think it was going to go this far. I'm really surprised. And it's sad to see these guys came up together, and now, a guy might go to jail because of a disagreement with a friend, right? So always get to just sit down and talk, spill out your emotions, right? I'm watching a morning show right now. It seems to be a little bit of tension. And I'm just like, come on. You're both stars. You're both great at what you do. Let's just talk. Okay, make sure we're on the same page and we're supporting each other. But that's the thing with groups and entertainment and attention. People always get jealous sometimes. And it's okay to feel a little bit of jealousy. Just, curb it. Don't act on it. And communicate your emotions so you're not on trial. And somebody saying you tried to kill me. So, yeah, hope everything works out well with that. Following it a little bit. But that's crazy. Rihanna just had all those kids and now A$AP Rocky's on trial. Which is crazy because I think they knew it was coming and they were still making babies. So, we'll see. Good thing is nobody died. Nobody got really hurt. So, but just seems like it was a career thing and that spilled over and things got physical. So always good to talk. Jim Jones, Cameron, everybody, talk like adults, communicate. Let's not make things get violent. And Diddy's got more victims. So, what they say, it was like some type of word, reassign the indictment, something like that. And so they're saying like the main person was Cassie, and now they've got some other girls that go back even further before Cassie, and the trial is in May. But they're saying it's not really a lot of people with solid evidence coming forth. There's a lot of people involved, but not a lot of people with testimonies. So we'll see what happens with Diddy, but it's been quiet on the Diddy front. Some type of fake AI phone call was released on the Vlad show. That was weird. But we haven't heard from Diddy. And that's it, man. That's the Gossip Intellectual Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. You know, turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. And you know, spend time with loved ones. Tomorrow's not promised, man. You know, you're in control, but you're not completely in control. All right, so control the things you can control. Your mind, spirit, and you know, do what you can while you're here, because every day something's happening, and we don't have the best leadership right now, so it's actually making it more likely that bad things are gonna happen. So take care of yourself out there. Take care of yourself. All right. Bye.